Welcome back. It is the final week of freedom for most Central Texas students before heading back to school. And as parents and kids get back into the swing of things, it's a good time to have those talks about safety. This morning, Sheila Delbo is with us this morning. She's a trauma nurse with St. David's Round Rock Medical Center. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
And I know as parents are kind of getting out of the summer mode and into the back to school mode, it's a good time to have these safety conversations, correct?
Exactly. Children have been off for the summer. They've kind of gotten away from with school in mind and the things that they need to pay attention to and with regard to safety. And so it's a good time for parents to start having those conversations. We've got 1 week left, so they need to start getting prepared now.
So let's go down the list here. Starting off with where to walk. I mean, especially if a child is walking to or from school.
Right. First of all, if kids are going to and from school, they really should go with a buddy for safety. So no child should just go on their own. But when they're walking to and from school, they need to stay on the sidewalks, and usually you should walk facing the traffic. They also want to make sure that they have some type of reflective clothing on, whether it be something on a backpack, a ball cap, or even on their shoes, so that in the hours of the morning when it's not quite daylight yet, they're still very visible to the traffic.
Okay, got it. You hear a lot of people talk about how heavy a child's backpack should or should not be. Does it really can it cause back issues and other things?
If the children are carrying a backpack that's too heavy, it can start setting them up for back problems now because they're still in the developmental years. And so you really do not want them carrying extremely heavy loads on their back. So in general, the backpack should not be more than 10% of the child's body weight. So if you have a 40-pound child, the backpack should not weigh more than 4 pounds. 80-pound child, the backpack should not weigh more than 8 pounds, and so on. They also need to make sure that they carry it with both straps on their shoulders and not just slung over one shoulder, because that can also increase their risk for problems.
Interesting. I'm now thinking about ladies' purses as well, and those are getting pretty big. So
exactly.
Because another topic for another day. Bike helmets. Obviously, that is extremely important, and you should not leave home without it.
Right. If they're on any wheeled object, whether it's a bicycle, a skateboard, or anything like that, then they need to have a helmet on. A traumatic brain injury can be catastrophic, not only to the life of a child, but to the family. And so the best thing that they can do is wear a helmet to protect their head.
Got it. Waiting for the bus, what is important there?
When they're waiting for the bus, they need to stand at least 6 feet back off of the curb to avoid being too close when the bus pulls up, or even other traffic, because people unfortunately are distracted. They may be texting, they may be checking email, they may be eating something while they're driving, and so you don't want them right on the curb where they can be, or even fall off of the curb into traffic. So they need to stay at least 6 feet off. And if they have to cross the street in front of the school bus, once they get off of the bus, they need to make sure they move far enough down in front of the bus that they can actually see the bus driver. Because if they can make eye contact with the bus driver can see them. And then the bus driver will be looking in the mirror through traffic that's coming, because not everybody stops like they're supposed to. And so they will make sure to motion the child when it's time to go. So they need to know to pay attention to that.
Got it. And of course, around those school buses, we're focusing on parents and kids and what they need to know, but all drivers out there this next week, a week from Monday, when kids head back to class, the eyes need to be open, off the cell phones, with no cell phone use in the school zones, and just be on alert.
Exactly. We need to be aware of where the school zones are. They will be in effect, so you have to reduce your speed. No texting on the cell phone or anything like that when you're in the school zones. And if you have teenage drivers, you need to remind them about the rules with the license, because we have a graduated license program. So depending upon the age of the child, there are restrictions as to how many teenagers they can have in the vehicle with them, and they're not allowed to be on a cell phone at all while they're driving a car. So it's good to just go over all of those rules of the road and avoid those distractions, because those many times are what results in a crash.
All right, thank you so much for being here. Some good information as kids head back to class. And now let's turn things over to